Welcome along, everyone. What was it like, that experience, jumping into your first race?
It's been my life ever since I can remember.
Look, it really was unbelievable.
I think it's awesome.
Just go out there and give it your all every time. And
when you're young and you get in your old man super stock and you wreck it, I mean, it's pretty cool.
Craig Booker with the big smile. He is the voice that's behind what you get to hear every Sunday night.
Give it the hoot, Daddy. Look at that field. Doesn't it look fantastic?
Welcome along, everyone, your Wednesday show. Yes, we are back after having last Wednesday off in the cockpit with Kinser and, of course, Bump and Run. He joins you right now, Craig Booker. How you going, Booker?
Oh, I'm pretty good, mate. I'm pretty good and pretty excited as well, actually, at this point. So, yeah, it's been an exciting week. We had a successful time in Stratford. So, yeah, it's been good, mate.
Yeah, excellent. Now, just to reiterate, a couple of weeks back, us two, and of course, Aaron from Garage 16, who will be joining us with Vince Jaegers very soon. We made our way down to Stratty. We covered the practice and then, of course, had a Legends night. So, once again, thank you to everyone who made that possible. It was a great event a few weeks back, considering we're kind of expecting some wet weather, but that never turned up. That turned up Sunday morning instead, but we already done our show and had fun. And we got a big announcement. I just want to say good evening to Jacob Close. We actually met young Jacob down at Stratford. He was following us around while we were in the pits there. So good to catch up with you, mate. Carl Carpendale is watching. Galen Ashby. Good to see you on board there, Galen. Also, Lacey McCarthy, the 9W with the Purple Heart. Got to love that. And also Richard and Trudy Aldridge, who's online watching. Just keep watching. We've got some big news coming up on the show. And, of course, we've got some good friends that will be joining us. We're going to cover last week's and weekend's event, the World Rally, which was huge.
Yes. Yeah, it was a great event. Yeah, they had that great final event at Jack's Ridge. And so we got Jake Hawkeswood here and Blair Bartels, mainly one of the main organisers of everything, and to talk us through and give us a wrap up of this great event we had in New Zealand and New Zealand Motorsport, the New Zealand Rally and World Rally all pinned together. It was pretty epic weekend for it too, and they had a lot of wet weather, but the crowd still came out. I heard, Kins, so the support was there still, so that was awesome to see too, wasn't it, eh?
It was, mate, because it's been a long time, since I've been back to our country. So there's a lot of rally fans out there who came out in the wet weather and to enjoy what they got to see over those days. And we'll give you the updates, like you said, mate. Blair will tell us some of that, and we'll catch up with Jack as well. But we've been bringing our other guests who's just sitting to the side of us, Vince and Aaron, Garage 16.
Yeah, we'll bring them in. Here we go, boys. How are you?
Hey, good, thanks, mate. How you doing?
Oh, very good.
Good, mate. We're always good when we see you two. You bring a smile to the show, you bring some laughter, you bring some fun, and you just got one hell of an awesome setup, the Garage 16. Look at all the banners, look at the flash chairs. I love how the microphone stood up, by the way. Just leave that in there. But mate, how are you two? Good to see you two.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, absolutely. No, we're doing real well, and pretty excited to be on your guys' show tonight. And we're going to let you guys do the honours from your end in terms of announcing what we've got coming up, right?
Yeah, hard out. Okay, Booker, well, look, I'll give you the honour, mate, because we've been excited to head down to Palmerston North. So there's a clue, all right? Palmerston North, next Saturday, the 15th of October.
16th.
So
16th,
we
sorry.
are.
15th and 16th.
15th and 16th, yeah. Oh, yes, 15th and 16th, yes.
So what we're doing, people, I might as well finish it off, shall I, kids? And what we're doing is we got a good response and feedback about our show in Stratford and our coverage of the practice down there. We are heading to Palmerston North for the 15th and 16th. Their practice is on the 15th at 5:30, I think it starts. So we're going to go there and we're going to do this similar to what we did at Stratford and interview drivers and give you guys a look at and talk to everybody. I think we're going to be doing a live from inside the Waka truck. Is it, Aaron?
Yeah, we're going to, unfortunately, Wayne Hemi can't make it to the live show on Sunday, but he was definitely going to be there on Saturday. And he said that we can go and have a wee visit, have a bit of a catch up and find out what one of the most recognised men in the sport has been up to over the winter.
Did you I think you spilled the beans on what's happening on Sunday, which they hadn't got to yet.
No.
It's fine.
No, he hasn't said anything yet. It's all right. Shall I quickly mention it, Vince, before he opens his mouth?
Yes, get him.
Okay, and on Sunday, people, live at 2 p.m. from the Speedway Bar in Palmerston North,
Garage.
down there beside the Cop and Co. Is it called the Speedway Bar?
Speedway Garage.
Speedway Garage.
Speedway
We are
Garage
going to do
Bar
a
and
live
Grill.
show out of there from 2 o'clock with live guests. We have lined up. Kins, who's some of our guests that we've got?
Where do we start? Where do you start? Look, we've got a big list of guests for everyone to join us that Sunday afternoon, like you said, at the Speedway Garage Bar and Grill, and the likes of fingers crossed. This is a possibility, and this is the first off to speak to one of the biggest legends when it comes to stock car racing. Think Palmerston North. Think the General. I've given it away. When you think the General, you think of a guy that's won nearly everything. He was menacing when it comes to teams, and he's very, very afraid of media. I happened to catch up with him yesterday, Dave Evans, and he's quite, if I twisted his arm right, going to join us and hoping to come along to be part of our show. So when it comes to Speedway and stock car history and legends, you don't really get any bigger than Dave Evans, the General. So he is just one of the guests that will be joining us, fingers crossed, hopefully on Sunday. Anyone else you got their books?
Yeah, and also we have Jordan Deere is going to join us as well on the couch or on the bar stools or what? I'm not sure. We've got going there, and is it going to be those Garage 16 leaners there we're going to have there or no? Yeah, we are. Look, thumbs up from our good man Aaron there. And also we got the Dewar family too. Sponsors of the NZ Teams champs are going to come and join us as well. Is that right, Vince?
So that's really exciting stuff because I mean there's quite a few. Obviously, we're coming on board in the form of Garage 16 and the NZ Dirt Track Racing magazine, and the Dewars they're huge supporters of the magazine. And for anyone that doesn't know, they own the Dewtech in Palmerston North.
Yes.
Which looks after all the NZ franchises throughout the country. So you might have heard of, I don't know, NZ from maybe a small event that happens in Palmy every year called the Superstock Teams Champs or something. So those are the guys that are to thank for that.
Right in there with it, eh?
Yeah. So apart from all the championships and all the awesome stuff that they do on the track and off the track, it's going to be awesome to see them and dive deep into their brains and see what stories they have to tell.
Yeah, we might have a Manawatu Mustang. Is it coming along to the?
I think we
event?
do. Oh, no, it's not just a Manawatu Mustang, but she's kind of turning into not just a local legend, but a legend all around New Zealand, and that is Rebecca Barr. Now she's exceptional stuff when it comes to super stocks, and she's got excellent stories to tell as well. So we're looking forward to getting her at the Speedway Garage on the Sunday, the 16th at 2 p.m. And we're going to see what she has to say. And we're going to hopefully talk to her at the practice as well. And if she's there, I haven't actually checked, but she'll be there. Sure.
So it's a pretty good lineup. We're looking at, and we may have more names to announce as we get closer as well, people. So we got Jordan Deere, we got the Dewars, we have Rebecca Barr. Who else was there? Oh, and maybe Dave Evans. It looks like he's going to do a turn up for us too, which will be pretty exciting. And we are talking to some other people as well. So that'll be on the 16th at Speedway Garage in Palmerston North from 2 o'clock, our live show. We will be doing it live out of to our Facebook Live as well for you people out there to see. But yeah, if you're out and about, come down and watch us. Enjoy the show. It's been brought to you by Kokpit Media and Garage 16. So we've made a good team, I think, together putting these shows on. And anyone that watched our Stratford stuff will see that we had a lot of fun, and we hope you really enjoyed it as well. So
yeah, well, imagine though if you could have that fun by going to Speedway Garage. And because the good thing about Speedway Garage is not only is there lovely refreshments, there is also hot dogs and things like that. So you're going to have to get some practicing.
As long as we don't want to see you eating a hot dog like you did in Auckland, Aaron.
I think one of the best things about this event is how close you'll be to all the speakers. You'll be right up in their face. But second best thing, completely free to attend.
Yeah.
So, everyone is welcome along to come along, check it out. And for anyone who can't get to Palmerston North for it, obviously it's going to be live streamed by Kokpit Racing and Media. So that's awesome as well.
Yeah.
And one important thing before you get in your point, Speedway Garage, they're in Palmerston North, and it's been such a huge success for the town and for them and Speedway in general They're actually in Wanganui now as well, which is absolutely epic. They've been open for about a month now.
Yeah.
And Speedway Garage, ever since Garage 16 took over the NZ Dirt Track Racing magazine 6 months ago, they've been on board since day one. So Ewan and Ricky from Speedway Garage, if you're watching this, huge thanks to you guys and everyone who's watching this. If you can, when you're in town in Palmerston North, go see these guys because, man, you won't be disappointed. You'll walk in and it's just heaven for any Speedway fan. Cool.
Wicked.
One more very quick thing from us is Speedway Garage. They've obviously come on as the sponsor of the show, but they're also going to be giving us some vouchers to go and hand out at the practice at Palmy. So you will see us all there. Come and find us, and we will we'll certainly have some vouchers to give out. You never know, we might have a few trick questions or something that go with them to earn them. And another thing too is on the Sunday, if you are there, you can also enter the competition to win a set of Cooper tyres.
Is that finalised?
It is finalised.
Is it?
Wow.
I'm finding out.
Very cool.
100%.
That is very cool. So we're saying that any of these guys turn up, they go into the draw to win a set of Cooper tyres for their stock car.
Just walk in.
Wow. So there you go, people. This show's just getting better and better, isn't it, eh? I mean, I'm so pumped to go to Palmy and do this, and I'm looking forward to hey lads, 100% can we win? That's Seth. Seth wants Hoosie. Seth McConchie wants Hoosiers as well. Oh well, Seth, you better come down to Palmy on the 15th, mate. Hey, listen, that's awesome news, guys. Hey, that's fantastic. So, and we're gonna have a lot of fun Saturday night, aren't we, Kins? You know, like walking around talking about. We're gonna talk to mini stock drivers. We're gonna talk to saloon drivers. We're gonna talk to street stock drivers. We're gonna talk to everybody.
We're going to talk to everyone there, you know, and like you said, you touched on it, mini stock drivers, the future of the sport that we love, and we caught up with a lot of them. We gave them the opportunity not to only thank their parents who got them into the sport, but also to recognise their sponsors. So, you know, the future, where they head to going forward, we'll have a chat with them and ask them those kind of questions. We're just going to chat to anyone and everyone, you know. It's just great to have Speedway back. Even some of the public will go up into the grandstands, mix and mingle with those crowds who are sitting there smelling the fumes, watching a dirt going right into you like Booker does and everything like that. So, you know, it's all about interacting, getting everyone into the hype of the Speedway. I know there is a track opening on that Saturday night, but we'll be at the Palmy practice. And talking of calendars and events, the latest Dirt Track magazine that's coming out has something that is special. Let's roll into Vince and Aaron with an update on this.
So you probably can't see it at the moment, but the latest NZ Dirt Track Racing magazine, the October issue, is going to be available for sale tomorrow online. It's also going to be available in stores from Monday onwards, unless you live in Christchurch. You can get along to the Coke and Woodford Glen shop because they already have their copies to sell. And oh, look at that beautiful mug.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Are you talking about your face or us?
Yeah. Oh, clearly not. Yes. but in this issue of the magazine, I don't know if you can see this, Mitch Vickery is on the front with his fiancée Meg because he went to the Briscoe World Champs and he won the Masters. So he came third. Very different. He came third on the Masters, but he's the first Kiwi ever to do so. So we've got interviews from him, all the other guys that were there, lots of other cool stuff. Some stuff which is, I'm going to say, controversial, but, you know, it depends on your opinion, really. But on top of that, every issue this month comes with something. Usually it's only subscribers that get a poster in their copies, but this month, Speedway New Zealand have come on board and they have paid for a full A2 poster that has every single meeting from the SNZ tracks all around the country for the whole season.
Wow.
Obviously, some things are going to change over the next few weeks and months, but everything is here. All the championships, all the club meetings, everything you need to plan your season, right here, included in every copy of the magazine. Only $7.95, and mate, it's just
you can't beat it. You can organise your year now, hang it on the wall, and organise what meetings you want to go to. I think that's bloody brilliant, mate. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I was hoping it was going to be a centerfold of Aaron on the inside, but that's all good.
There might be two centerfolds.
No, I think we've got to uphold the broadcasting and media standards, I think.
Oh, you guys might have to do a calendar for 23. No, I'm just joking.
You're objectifying us now.
So this is what you...
Brilliant, boys. So, we're really looking forward to it. We're going to let you get on and have a chat to your guests and stuff. And, we're going to sit down and watch the rest of the show. But thank you very much. Sunday the 16th, obviously at Speedway Garage, but then also Saturday the 15th, you'll see us at the practice here at Palmy.
Yep.
Awesome.
100%.
Looking forward to
Hey, thanks, guys. We appreciate your support and we really enjoy doing this. So, yeah, we can't wait for the 15th and 16th, mate.
Brilliant.
Us too,
Thanks,
mate.
guys.
Awesome. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Thank you. Good guys. You know, if you love that kind of humour, the fun we just had, that banter with those two from Garage 16 NZ Dirt Track Racing Magazine, Vince and Aaron, that's what you're going to get on the Saturday in the pits. We're going to have fun. We're going to make it a real family-friendly show. And that's what you're also going to get on Sunday afternoon, 2 o'clock at the Speedway Garage Bar and Grill. But also what you're going to get if you go into their draw, you could win some Cooper tyres. How cool is that? There's just so much on offer. Thanks to those two guys for doing some of the work behind the scenes. I just want to say good evening to Dave Thomas, Chris Bailey, the Kazi Jessica Timoana Nui, Tyson Wooten. We'll have to get you on the show sometime soon, Tice. Lacey McCarthy, shout out to Room 2. Let's just do that. Maru Goodley, who's joined us as well. Troy Rusco, good to have him on board. Eric, thanks for your wonderful comment. A big shout out to all Speedway volunteers around New Zealand. Big efforts, a long season, and tracks cannot do without them. 100% right there, mate. Brad Wright, good to have you on board. Randy T. Randy Terrence joined us as well, having a bit of a watch. And Seth still asking for who's he is too.
Yeah, well, I mean, hey, look, I can't get over that, Kins, for that added thing. I think that the 15th, what's that, 2 weekends' time, we are going to have such a good time. Such a good time. You're going to love
motorsport. You know, you get through this weekend coming up, which has already started, Bathurst.
Yes.
Everyone's been watching that. And then, of course, you can come and watch part of our show, which is next Saturday and Sunday. Scott Honeybone, good to have you on board. Tracy Vincent and many others who are joining us as well. Aaron Wilton. Good to have Aaron back with us, mate.
Yeah, mate.
Street Stocker.
Shall we bring these two gentlemen in and let's talk rallying?
Yeah, bring them both in.
Great event. So we're going to bring in... there's Blair Bartels there and Mr. Jake Hawkeswood. G'day, how are yous?
Good. How's it going?
So yeah, good. Hey, thanks for joining us. You know, after a pretty busy last few days. Blair, have you recovered, mate?
Still in the process, Kins. Still in the process. But yeah, it's pretty cool over the last couple of days, and even trying to get back to reality and work and all those sorts of things to reflect on something that was pretty special. Something 10 years in the making, and certainly something I was pretty proud to say that I was a part of.
Yeah. What about yourself, Jake? What about you, mate? Have you recovered, or are you just chilling out? Because I know you got pallets and pallets of items in your back shed there. Have you recovered, mate?
I suppose that's the one good thing about having an event like that at your house is you end up with all the leftovers, and it's fair to say we won't be needing to buy anything for quite a long time.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit of grass too might come in handy.
Yeah.
Good too. Hey, Blair, let's rewind the clock back. You know, a long time ago when the event was held here in our country, was a very long time ago. Being a lot of rally fans asking and just hanging out to wait for this event. When does the actual work start for you before this all created the event that we saw recently? When do you start doing all of that stuff? It's like a year, 2 years in advance?
It's been a constantly evolving cycle. So Peter Johnston, PJ, who's an absolute legend of motorsport, he's been working in the background basically ever since we had a shot in 2020 that got canned.
Yeah.
It seems a little bit selfish to be upset about that, but apparently there was something else going on in the world at the time. And so we couldn't have it. And, there was constant dialogue in the background. There's massaging, there's working with, Auckland Unlimited, who, massive backer of the event, all that sort of stuff. We found out, been maybe late July, early August last year, and then had to work on, negotiations and releases and all that sort of stuff. But half the time it's hardest when you don't, but you can't tell anyone, and you got all this exciting news that you can't just blurt out. So that was all a bit of work in its own right, and then there's things going on in the background. Basically, straight away from them, we're starting to look at how we can, how everything fits and how we make the event work and how we get cars like Jack's AP4 car and stuff into the main event and how it works with the Brian Green Property Group New Zealand Rally Championship and all these sorts of things and how it all massages together and what it looks like. And then obviously as you get closer and closer and closer, the detail becomes more and more and you sort of start off with a big picture and then work your way in and work your way in and work your way in. And eventually you find yourself at an event and I guess you hope like hell that everything that needed to be done was done. So.
And I suppose all the negotiations with all the big names and everything that attends these events, they travel the whole world. You got the car manufacturers. There's just so much, and I just tethered to believe what kind of work goes in with that. It's a big team, I would guess, that do all the work, but man, it's a massive event, and the template hasn't been laid in the place since 2012, I remember rightly, so that's a while ago. You throw the old pandemic in amongst all the fireworks there, and then you got to try and pull it out to turn on a big show to make all the fans happy. It's just a huge undertaking.
Oh, massive. I mean, yeah, like the negotiations and stuff, I don't get involved with. That's, my job was more looking after these local guys, making sure that all worked out. But yeah, the level of work, as you say, 10 years, in those 10 years, some people move on. We're pretty lucky to have a solid team and a lot of them stayed around, but everything's changed in 10 years, and so you sit there. I went through about 700 pages of regulations, trying to digest them and make some sense out of them. And that was basically, as I said, just around trying to make sure that our local guys could be part of something pretty special.
Yeah, the rules change, don't they? When some of these kind of events, and if I talk more around the lines of health and safety and everything like this, it's all changed, this whole OSH thing and everything. But I don't want to get into that. It's all just boring, bloody stuff. We get those ones that tick the boxes, dot the I's, cross the T, the bureaucracy, limit shit that they can do. But we just want to talk about the event and how the event ran because, hey, it was a highlight for many rally fans out there. And they were just itching to be part of this event. And look, it turned up with a little bit of wet weather, but people put that aside, rocked on out there, the staunch fans, and they bloody loved it.
Absolutely. I mean, Jack would have got a better view than I did of that.
Yeah.
But,
it was driving to that second stage when the rain really started to set in, and like the wipers on the car couldn't get the rain off the windscreen fast enough. Even just going down the road, I was like, man, I wonder how many spectators we're actually going to see out on the stage. But that first spectator junction we came up to, I probably should have been looking at the road, but man, I couldn't help but look up into the paddocks and how many people were actually up there watching in the pissing rain. Like they had marquees up and umbrellas and gazebos, and it was all sorts going on there. It was pretty surreal to see.
Does that pump you up a bit, Jack? Seeing that crowd out there in that weather, their commitment to come watch you guys race, that give you a bit more, you give that throttle another 15-20% harder throttle down the road there, aren't you? See that or what?
Yeah, I've always a bit of a show pony, so I like
that one.
Especially on the repeat stages, where all the spectators are hanging out, so you know where to hang it out and throw a few more stones.
Give it a bit more hoot nanny and down the road you go, eh?
Just give it to them, mate. Hey, Scott Honeybones asked a quick question for you, Jack. Hey, Jack, what's that new hot rod like to drive? It sounds amazing.
Yeah, no, it's I was hoping we're going to get to that. It's that was a massive team effort to put that car together in the time that we did. It's quite easily the fastest scratch build we've ever done out of this workshop, and that's saying something now because I think we've done nearly 18 cars out of this workshop, and yeah, like it was a massive team effort, and I'm super thankful for all the boys at Force Motorsport, all the effort that they put into it, and yeah, like that first stage when we went into it and came to that first corner, I hit the brakes and turned it in, and it just did everything I wanted it to do, and it was pretty surreal. I just couldn't really believe it. There was a few about a week out, and we had a bit of a team meeting, and we're like, man, what point do we pull the pin here? When do we start getting that other car ready? But yeah, no, everybody who was involved put in a massive effort to get it there, and it's just, yeah, it's an amazing car.
Yeah, that's what people don't realize sometimes, the amount of work that goes on behind the scenes. They see you out there throwing stones and everything at everyone. You just give it the extra 15-20%, like you were saying. And there's a lot of work. And we get to see some of that on the old tallies and when it's streaming and everything like that. It's just amazing, especially the week you got to do to get the car back out there and get yourself all prepared. It's just huge. The undertaking for all of it is just massive.
Yeah, I think we rolled the cutoff for scrutineering was it Wednesday, Blair? Something like that, at 11 o'clock. It's Wednesday at 11 o'clock, and I drove the car from the workshop to scrutineering, and I arrived at scrutineering at 10:57.
So I got a question.
Yeah.
You had me sweating, mate. You had me sweating.
I think everybody was sweating. I think there was a few questionable maneuvers through the traffic to get there in time.
Are you always like that? Always late to the show? Because I remember when we spoke to Ben Hunt. He was always bloody late.
It must be a rally driver thing, Kins. Ask Blair, he'll tell us.
Yeah, you want to try working with them all.
Yeah, scrutineering's not really the thing you want to be late to.
Yeah.
Not with the boys from the FIA. They play pretty solid to the rule book because she's a black and white line.
Yeah, there was it's definitely an amazing achievement, and there's been so many people walk through this workshop in the last couple of months, and they've looked at the car and then they've gone, there is no way you guys are making it. Even a couple of weeks out from the event, and it was sitting there, and we had 5 people running around it, bolting stuff onto it and trying to make stuff and get it going. And yeah, just about everybody that came into the workshop said there is no way you guys are making it. So to actually to make it, I think it's an amazing serious achievement.
I got a couple of questions been sent through to me actually, Jack. It said, so what amount of hours were going into your new car leading up to the Rally New Zealand? How many hours?
Oh, massive. So there's 450 hours and just the shell alone. That's just the roll cage, and so
that's huge.
It's massive, and pretty much from the start to finish of the build, it was it was 7 o'clock till 10, 11, 12 at night, pretty much for whatever it was, 2.5 months straight. And that final week, I think our main fabricator Kane and Tony, I think there was a few nights in there where they only had sort of 2 hours of sleep, and they were back up and back down to the workshop just trying to get it going. So yeah, it's a massive team effort.
That's a huge team effort, isn't it? Commitment to do that, and to be there. No wonder people were sweating. You're getting at the bloody scrutineering on time. Jeez, with those sorts of hours.
Yeah, and and that was sort of the big thing about it too. And then when we, after that first day, we didn't have the greatest day. We had a couple of teething issues with the car that it's the sort of stuff you'd find if you got a decent amount of testing in. But kind of after Saturday, it was like, right, we've got to bring this thing home in one piece, because otherwise it's all going to be for nothing, isn't it?
Yeah. What are your stress levels like, Blair? When you're waiting for these guys to turn up, you must just stress out something to the max.
It takes a wee bit to wind me up, to be fair. Try not to get too stressed, because you can't control what you can't control. But certainly, I think it was. Yeah, there was a lot of anticipation. There was certainly there's 13 Kiwi guys ran there was 2 parts to the rally. So there's like the what we call the international rally, which ran all 3 days, and that was for all the cars that were fully compliant with the international rules, like Jack's and Hayden Patton, Shane Van Gisbergen, and all those guys, Ben Hunt. And so there was a real relief when as I said, their rules are a lot stricter than ours. So when we got all 13 cars through scrutineering and got that ticked off, that was a massive relief. And then we got through three and a bit days of rallying, and not one of them copped a fine, which Yeah, I'm really, really proud of all those guys because
Yeah.
you look at events all around the world and there's local guys getting picked up in the FIA. They just love handing out €1,000 fines, you know. So,
Oh, yeah,
shit.
so we had a bit of a what was it, a Zoom meeting with everybody, and they were they were reading out all the fines, and it was so for speeding, that's every kilometre over the speed limit, it's €25.
for the first time, 50 for the second.
Yeah.
Shit.
50 for the second.
Damn.
Does that mean you're speeding between stages, going from stage to stage? Is that what we're talking about there? Because I think people have gone speeding. There's the idea to go as fast as you bloody can.
Yeah. Well, even on reconnaissance, like it was a pretty new thing for me, because even on reconnaissance, like here in New Zealand, you know, we don't we all just go out in a convoy, and you know, it's everybody just stays together. But for this one, it's, you know, the stage is open for reconnaissance between a certain time, and you've got tracking units in your recce car, so they're tracking your speed while you're on recce as well.
Holy hell!
Yep.
Shit, they are strict, aren't they?
Oh, incredibly. Yeah.
Well, here's a good segue when we're talking about speed here for you, Jack. So, how different is the power of the 3-cylinder Yaris motor compared to the 4-cylinder cars you've been driving?
It's it took me a bit to get my head around. It's quite different. It's not a terribly revving engine.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of torque down low, but it hasn't got a hell of a lot of horsepower. But it took me a bit to get my head around it, but I think by the end of the weekend I had it sussed out.
Oh, good.
Hey, just got a question for you here, Blair. The young guy that won it, 20 years since the last Finnish World Champ, Marcus Gromhol, won it. This young guy, Carl. Is it Carl? Is that how you say his name?
Calais.
Calais?
Sounds like a Holden model.
Calais Robin Pera. Yeah. Absolutely. Oh, God, the guy's just phenomenal. I mean, you think, we look at what Jack's doing over here at 21 and think that he's doing all right. You know, you got a year. Well, you haven't even got that.
Well, I don't actually.
You got a couple of months, mate. Go out and win a world.
On when was it? Saturday. The Saturday.
Yeah. So you got a month and a half to go out and win a world championship, mate. Get on with it.
What are you doing?
He's phenomenal, and he looks so at home. You watch him behind the wheel, and he's just, cruising down the road. It's just, absolutely mind blowing, really. And hey, to have that record fall in New Zealand and on Jack's family farm, I think that'll be remembered for a long time, because, man, 22 years of age, that's going to take some beating. That's going to be around for a while.
What's it like, Jack, when you hear some of these names, like the example of that young guy, and you got some of these big names.
Go on, have a go, kids. Have a go.
Yeah. I'm thinking about it. You want to be up there. Obviously, that's one of your goals, isn't it? One of your ambitions is to be competing on that circuit. And when you get these guys rolling over from around the world, and they're just kicking backside, left, right, and center, doing what they do at 20s and all this type of stuff, mate. You want a piece of that, don't you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. After seeing this rally come here this weekend, and getting it, I was lucky enough to have the opportunity to spend quite a bit of time with the Toyota Gazoo Racing world team.
Mm-hmm.
And meet Jari Lappi, who's the the team print. He's the principal, the team principal of Toyota. And they're all just I had a great time with Toyota. They're all really approachable guys, really nice guys, and to seeing all the stuff they're doing and the big setups and stuff like that, and it's like, it's hard to look at and not go, man, that's really what I want to be doing. Yeah. But it was definitely an experience.
Did you go put some feelers out at some of the big teams that were there, mate? Did you go and do some schmoozing?
I think, I'd be lying if I told you I didn't. I almost said I needed like a business card to go and drop off around it all with me.
What was it like meeting some of those guys, but both of you really, some of those big names that came over here? I mean, we don't normally get to see them. We see them on the TV or the you know. But what was it? Was anyone there you looked up to? That was you were a big fan of that came over that you sort of felt a bit starstruck or anything like that, or?
Yeah, I think like meeting Seb Ogier, who's a 8-time world champion, like, and he's just such a nice guy, and it was so surreal. Like, I'd still think back on it now and just think of it in disbelief. It's almost like a dream.
What about you, Blair? I mean, you've been around so long with rally, mate. There must have been some big names there you were sort of starstruck with, was there?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I was lucky enough a couple of weeks before the event to do an interview with Sebastian Ogier. And that was a bit of a fanboy moment. You know, I don't think I've been that nervous before I've done an interview for a long time. So, yeah, it was pretty cool. But, you know, I think what's really neat is, you know, especially once you sort of get away from the cameras and a few things like that, they're all real good, down-to-earth guys that they love the sport. Obviously, they've turned it into a job, but, you know, you kick back and have a quiet little lemonade with them on Sunday night. And there's, they're good, really, really good people to be around, you know, like also, you know, like the M Sport team boss, Rich Milner, we're having a couple with him and just really, really interesting to have a chat with these guys, and they're so approachable and so just happy to have a chat, which is really neat, you know.
Yeah.
So out of used to, who's got the most selfies with these big names? Who's got the most selfies?
I don't do selfies, mate. I was giving a whole heap of people crap because they were trying to take selfies with some of these guys while they were in the men's room. I was like, geez, at least let them have a piss for it, you know?
So have you got any good any story that stands out from the weekend, either of you, that was a funny story or anecdote or anything like that happened? Or
I think we got a few, but I don't know if we should talk about
them. How was that atmosphere on Sunday at Jack's Ridge? Was it pretty electric or what?
Oh, it was something else, you know, like, we were fortunate enough, you know, the family led us on 2 years ago for the Battle of Jack's Ridge, and we thought that was, and it was a very, very special event. We could have 5,000 people at that. We packed 13,000 people in there.
Wow.
On Sunday.
Holy hell.
Yeah, so it was manic, but the place was going off. You know, there was some awesome action. They had a whole heap of really, really cool demo cars in between. I mean, I don't know how you found it, Jack, but it was something pretty special to be out there, and it's not my backyard. So
I'll tell you one of my what's forever gonna stick with me is when for Hayden's final run round, and we were all standing up in the driver's tent. I was actually standing with Yari Matty in the driver's area, and I was standing right up on the fence when Hayden came through for his final run, and I couldn't believe how much the crowd lit up for that.
Yeah,
everybody was cheering and waving signs around as he came through, and it was pretty surreal. It was a pretty special moment, and it sort of made me reflect a little bit on, hey, this is happening on my farm. You know, out the back, just out the back of the farm. Like hearing when you can hear the crowd roaring louder than the car coming past. I think it's
holy hell.
That's something pretty special, isn't it?
Pretty special to be standing amongst it, you know.
Yeah, Michael Burrows put a comment in our little chat at the moment. Huge thanks to the Hawkeswood family and the team for an awesome special stage. Jack, your father is a legend. And that memory you just said then, what you heard and what you visibly saw, will stay in your mind forever, you know. So
I tried to get Tony to tell your dad to come on tonight. He didn't want to be a part of it or something, eh?
No, he's gone
too
out
busy.
For dinner. He's gone out for dinner with Mum.
He's still, we better not interrupt that.
No, he's definitely got a good handful of grey hairs, more grey hairs after this week. It's we've put in I think everybody that was involved with the rally has put in a massive effort, and it was definitely I think it was all worth it in the end.
Yeah, totally worth it. Hey, you talked about Hayden Paddon, watching him race. Look, he finished sixth overall. Just looking at the quick results here. Then you got Bates, Summerfield, and the list just carries on. But underneath Hayden Paddon, only a few back, is bloody Shane Van Gisbergen.
Oh.
What the hell, mate? Come on. He's a V8 supercar driver, for goddamn sake.
You
What's
just
his-
you
what's
keep
his-
looking at him and you go, oh yeah, we've seen the best of Shane. Maybe like God, the guy's just a freak.
He is absolutely, and I was Dad had a bit of a sigh of relief because I actually managed to beat him in a couple of stages on
Yes,
Saturday
yeah.
afternoon. Only by less than half a second. But I still got him, and he was like, "Oh, thank God for that." No, he is. He's a sensational driver. On both tarmac and on gravel.
Yeah.
And to see him pick it up pretty quickly like that is just it's pretty cool.
Oh, come on. Don't be too soft on the bugger, mate. Come on.
I think one of the coolest things with Shane though was you watch the all live coverage in the weekend, and every stage he's just cracking the biggest smile. You see all the world guys and they're deadpan, like man, their facial expressions are just you wouldn't want to play poker with them. And then you got Shane there, and he's just like, you click behind the helmet, man. He was just absolutely loving it. It was so cool to see. For him, supercars is a job, and he comes and does rallying and just loves it, which is awesome to see.
Well, his old man was a rally car driver, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Jack's Ridge, someone's asking here, is it, I think it's saying, are they still going to keep and use the track again? So Jack's Ridge is here to stay?
75% of the track will stay.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we've got a clean fill operation out the back there, which part of the track is right in the middle of. So we are going to lose a small section of it, but the plan is should we get the WRC back again, we'll put another piece of track in for them there, and we'll make sure there's something there.
Just don't make it on October 2nd, all right? I want to be able to bloody come to the next one.
Yeah. I think you have to talk to Blair about that one more than me.
Yeah. So Blair's the one to blame, eh, Jack? That's good to know.
Blame Blair for that.
It's quite funny. When we're sorting New Zealand events, we all sort of negotiate around and we go, right, this will work for us as a championship. And they go, oh, that doesn't work for us as an event. And you get to WRC and the WRC promoter is just like, oh, we're coming on that weekend.
Yeah,
That's it.
That's it.
It's not open for negotiation.
You want in or not?
So let's talk about that negotiation side of things. Look, the event's done, dusted, massive turnout. Everyone enjoyed it. Loved all the feedback to it. It's been a long time. So where to going forward now? And I just want to acknowledge Repco as well as part of this event. They put so much into it, but we'll get to recognise a few of the names that have been around and touted around with the event. So where to for the future? What's happening there, Blair? Can you kind of shed any light on any of this? Or
So obviously it came out during the week, last week before the event, that it's not coming back in 2023, which is a real shame. And I know our team worked really, really hard. And, this is a world-class event, and unfortunately it comes with a world-class budget. And, the reality is that we couldn't, put ourselves in a position where we could guarantee that that's where it was. And so the team are still working, they're barely, dusting off, or probably not so much dust, a bit more wiping the mud off after the last weekend. And they're still chasing, They, I think more and more motivated after the response from the weekend to have it back on the calendar in 2024. And what was really encouraging was that wasn't just the fans that were out there in the pissing down rain. It was the teams, it was the FIA, it was the WRC promoter. Everyone really loved what we were able to put on, be it Jack's Ridge, be it the whole rally. The drivers love it. They really do. And there's this what seemed like a cliche that we've got the best roads in the world, but that's all we heard all weekend from these guys. You know,
Wow.
we've gone from telling them we've got the best roads in the world, and remember us, because most of them, I think of the 10 World Rally Car drivers, only 3 have been here before. And, you know, now they're definitely telling us, hey, these are just exceptional roads. And to be fair, before the rain came, they were in really, really good condition too. So, and they stood up well, I think, in the rain, Jack.
Yeah, no, they did. They did. Yeah, there was a few. I think, if anything, it kind of added to it in a way, because it was yeah, like, even though the roads were, you know, they were wet and they were getting a bit clayey and stuff like that, like they were still awesome to drive on, and it kind of threw that sort of, you know, left field pitch in there. Yeah, I certainly still I didn't think I was going to have enjoy myself as much as I did when it really started pissing down. But no, I still think they were great.
Okay, that's good to hear. Hey, Blair, you know, it's done and dusted, mate. I suppose what you're going to just recover for a little bit before you get into your next project. And what is that?
Yeah, certainly convenient to have Bathurst week the week after the rally. So plant my fairly oversized derriere on the couch for a week. But look, we're straight into next year's championship. You know, we're now knowing that this event's not coming, we've got a calendar to pull together, and then our portfolio, you know, our rule set, and start harassing guys like Jack to make sure that they turn up next year.
You want to harass that Tony too to get that started out there.
Yeah, T-Mac. Yeah, it's a bit of a shed pony, that one, isn't it? It'll be a pretty cool thing when it does finally appear. But yeah, so we've got to work on that. Yeah, a few bits and pieces to try and just keep the championship moving forwards, and yeah, now the borders are opening up. It'd be great if we're able to open ourselves up to some of the international teams. You know, we had three international drivers come over as well, not as part of the WRC, but just to run in the national championship round behind. So one of them kindly tipped up Jack's old car for him, which was
nice.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at that out the window of my office at the moment. And
is that the one that was that big crash they showed all over the news and everything? Who was that?
No.
Nah, that would have been Gus Greensmith. He's one of the world drivers. So,
yeah, you saw that.
Funnily enough, that car wasn't as badly damaged as you might think, but because they're all space frames now with composite sitting around them, they look a million times worse than they are. So, yeah, I think that was more of a frustrating accident than anything, but it probably wasn't too far off being able to actually fire up and drive away. It just bent the right rear corner out of it, you know.
Oh, T-Max put in the comment here for you, Blair. He's watching. He's
got shed pony. Settle, Blair.
Get it out, T-Max. Get it out. Anyone think you've had some other job on the go in the last few months or something?
He's too busy working on all of Jack's stuff, mate.
Yeah, to be fair, give that whole team a shout out, because you know the Friday of this rally, effectively the first day, was quite unique. You know, there's 160 k's of stages, and some of the Whanganui Coast is one of the most demanding rally stages anywhere in the world. Yeah, it starts off all beautiful and nice and wide open, and then you sort of work your way down the coast, and then you start to get, you know, towards the end of it, and you think, oh, we must nearly be there, and then it just starts getting corner after corner after corner. You know, it's just like you're just getting down a little bit, and then someone just comes over and gives you a big boot up the arse and really just make sure that you're down. So to get through that twice, and in the two Tiakau stages as well, they didn't have a service in the middle of the day. They just had a chance to change some tyres. So, you know, full credit to all of your team, Jack, because that's basically the worst nightmare you can come across with a brand new car. You know, normally you'd be like, oh, cool, if we could just do like one short little stage and have a service, because then we'll figure out that this has gone wrong. Yeah.
No, and no, that's right. And like I said, you know, we sort of had a couple of little teething problems that we would have found, but I think the worst problem that I had from that whole day was the fact that in the last sort of 10 to 8 kilometers of Whanganui Coast, when it really starts to get really tight and twisty, the gear stick decided it wanted to come undone, and did the last 8Ks of whanga and stuck in third gear. And there's quite a few spots in there where it's just hairpin after hairpin after hairpin after hairpin. I think the clutch was definitely worn in after that.
Holy hell. So, overall, a successful event, I would guess, with all the years of work that you put in there, Blair, and the others in the team, it's a massive team effort. And I'd say both of you guys will be very, very happy with the outcome. Put the weather aside, everyone got out there to enjoy the event over the days, and long live the rally. And, Repco's been behind this for some time, and without the support of some of them and some of the other major sponsors, wow, it's not possible, is it?
Oh, definitely not. This event's just a mammoth effort. We had in the Rally New Zealand organisation 10 people full time on it. We normally have one person full time. So that and then a whole heap of us volunteers that were running around ragged for the best part of a year. So really satisfying from our point of view. And I think what was really nice was when it started raining and we all went, oh God, everyone's going to get all down on it, and they just come back and went, oh, I got covered in mud. That was awesome, It's still out there. No one seemed to really give a crap about the fact that they were getting covered in, because like Jack's Ridge and on the Saturday, man, it was like well up past people's ankles in mud. If you stood in the wrong places, it was genuinely wet and sloppy and shit. But people were still, not shy and getting amongst it.
I'm fortunate enough to have a photographer that chases me around through the national championship, and he got some awesome photos on Saturday of all the people walking in and out of the spectator areas, and like they think that you'd think they'd be a bit sheepish, trying to walk around, get around the mud and not walk through it. But no, it looked like a line of ants walking up and down down the hills. They were just into it. He said no one seemed to be that phased about it.
Oh, look, nothing wrong with a bit of dust and mud, I think that's what we love about it all, especially going there in Gumboot City, basically. Blair, Tony Max asked a question there. What numbers of officials and volunteers were helping on the event? And big thank you to them all during the rain. Any kind of indication numbers?
Yeah, it was massive. It was somewhere between 1,500 and 2,000 volunteers.
Wow.
So, a massive thank you to each and every one of those people, because every part that was played is what came together to bring this thing together, and the levels of safety and everything that you have to adhere to with these events, and the physical numbers you have to cater for the crowds. A national rally, normally you might have 2 or 3 block marshals in a junction that ain't going to do diddly squat when you got 4,000 people there. So you just got to cater to the numbers, and they all did an amazing job, and again they were all out there in that crap weather as well, and so a massive thank you to all of those people, the timing teams, the whole lot, so many of them, and everyone played their part to bring together something pretty special.
You can't thank volunteers enough, can you? Really? And all forms of motorsport, whether it be speedway or rally or V8s, whatever, everybody volunteers, and those guys, and without those volunteers, it just wouldn't happen. Like, you can't thank them guys enough, really, can we?
100%. It doesn't happen.
The way the country relies on volunteers, doesn't matter what event, whether it's big, small, or anything out there, you really got to take your hat off to those volunteers. And especially when the weather's crap, they'll soon get out there, because they know what it means, not only to themselves to be part of any event, small or big, but also what it means for maybe the community, the town, or whatever. Volunteers, you cannot do without it. And the unfortunate thing too, it's hard to get more volunteers in this kind of new generation. It's a different generation coming on through, and half of them don't want to put their bloody hands up and get in there and do the hard work, and there's always a massive call out there for volunteers. So hats off to all volunteers out there. Scott Honeybone, he did ask a question before, actually, Scott. He's always on the show. Good to have him on board. Bring Rally New Zealand to the South Island for some real fast roads down here. Give South Island something.
There's a few reasons why it wouldn't work, unfortunately, Scotty. And to be fair, probably the biggest one's accommodation. We looked at trying to run it out of Tauranga a few years ago, and even that was a real squeeze. And yes, those roads are fast down there. They would be too fast for those World Rally cars. There's a maximum average speed that you can actually run them to, which is 132 k's an hour.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's on the organisers to provide the appropriate roads. It's not the drivers don't get a penalty for that, but you sort of get as the organiser, you get you won't be using that road again, some sort of vibe back. So yeah, and some of our national AP4 cars and R5 cars have been running that pretty tight this season. There's been a few that have slipped over, so not a chance with the Rally 1 cars, unfortunately, because they're close to twice the horsepower of what the guys in our national formula are run, amongst all the other amazing bits and pieces that aero and suspension and all that sort of stuff. So yeah.
See what happens. All right. Hey, Jack, so what are you going to do with yourself? Because bloody summer's around the corner, mate. Christmas is getting closer. Do you take a bit of a break? I know you got pallets of fizzy drinks and everything you're going to have to get through, mate. You got pallets worth. But what are you going to do for the summer?
Well, I've still got it's like Blair was saying earlier, it's been a bit of a snap back to reality now. So back hard out into work, and I'd kind of almost forgotten about that. But I'll probably take a couple of weeks off over the New Year's period, and then it's time to start thinking about Otago, and just tidying up a couple of little things on this car, and a couple of little things with with our servicing gear and stuff like that. But it's we've still got plenty of work to do. So.
All right. So aside from getting focused on the rally for Otago, what do you do? When we last caught up, I can't quite remember what you do aside from rallying. What do? You get out and about, and what do you do? Hit the beach and everything?
Oh yeah. Hit the beach. Do a bit of fishing, a bit of mountain biking, all that sort of stuff. Yeah. Normal, Kiwi bloke sort of stuff. But yeah, no, I think we'll definitely be focusing a lot on the rallying for next season.
Yeah, we're talking about a speedway earlier on about a show we're going to do on the 15th, 16th down in Palmerston. Do you get the opportunity to go watch some oval racing on the old dirt? Yeah,
I do actually. I've got a couple of mates who do speedway. So yeah, I do. I do sometimes if I get 5 minutes, I'll slip out and shoot out to Western Springs or something like that, and watch the boys go around.
Jump behind the wheel? Nah, just jokes.
Well, they keep telling me I need to, but I don't think my parents will let me.
What about you, Blair? With the rally and everything like that, similar stuff. What do you do for kicks during the summertime and everything like that? Kick back, and do you get to any speedway tracks, anything like that?
Yeah, I quite enjoy, like Jack, trying to get to Western Springs for a few times during the season. We used to do a bit of work there, but it's just sort of you need some downtime sometimes. So try to get to the beach place and relax a little bit. Probably consume a few green bottles, and it never really goes away. It's always ticking away. And I'm sure the speedway guys are the same over the winter as well. There's always stuff ticking away in the back of the mind. And what if we try this, and planning that, and it certainly doesn't go away, and you don't just go, right, that's finished, we'll turn up first week of April and see you all there. It's it's a year-round thing to run a 6-month season. So
awesome, guys. Well, it's just click 8:30. Look, and I do want to say thank you to you both, especially after the big event you've just been part of, and you can kind of recover, rest up, and kind of get back some reality of life and chill out for a little bit, because you're going to be watching, dare I say it, Gisbergen race around Bathurst and many others. He'd most surely end up winning the bloody thing, even if he starts 8th on the grid. He'll still win the bloody thing somehow.
So who are you guys cheering for on Sunday?
Yeah, who are you picking? Who are you cheering for, Jack?
I've got to look after, got to support Gizzy, even though he keeps kicking my ass in this rallying thing. No, he's a great dude, and him and I've become reasonable friends now. So.
Yourself, Blair, who you supporting?
Yeah, I'm chasing Shane as well for a win. Always grew up as a Ford guy, so that's been a little bit tricky. But Shane, he's like we talked about with those top guys too. When you get to know him, he's just a real down to earth dude that loves driving cars, and he's just a lad. So he's pretty hard guy not to want to support. And we certainly wish him all the best for that one. I'll be cheering pretty hard from the couch.
Put your Ford hat on, mate. Who are you going to support?
I don't know, because it takes someone away from Shane winning it. It'd be a real interesting one with the wet weather. Because that's going to throw the form book right up in the air, and guys like Cam Waters are pretty quick. Here's a dark horse for you, Richie Stanaway with Murph. So the wet weather.
Yeah, well, that's the one and you've got Will Davo. I like Will Davison too in the Ford.
Yeah, they weren't super quick at Bathurst last year, but he's been quick all year. So
yes,
it's a really interesting one. Like I think it's the supercars one to me is a really cool place at the moment. Even though Shane's actually winning the fair majority of the races, it's not like when McLaughlin was dominating the championship. They haven't always got the car pace, but they as a team they seem to just find a way to sneak past everyone. So I think Shane will. I hope Shane will get the job done. Otherwise, I won't get my money back from the TAB.
I like Shane. I just don't like his co-driver.
What was that, Booker?
I said I like Shane. I'm just not a fan of his co-driver. Not a tender fan.
Not a tender fan. Nah, fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Hey, it'll be whoever it will be. At the end of the day, we know what that track can bring, when it comes to the boot race. And if the weather turns up, or even if a kangaroo comes bouncing around, or anything like that, anything is possible there. And, motorsport fans will be loving that. They'll be glued to their screens on Sunday. Phones will be turned off.
Yeah.
So don't dare try and ring motorsport fans on a Sunday.
Don't ring me on Sunday.
They'll be loving it. Hey, Lownsy's thrown in there. Reynolds in the wet. Murph and Stanaway go the bay. Heingartner. There's a list of people that could win this race, and anything is possible. And we just got to see all of that, obviously, with the World Rally. Thank you, guys. We do appreciate both of you taking time out to join us here on our Wednesday show. Wish you all the best over the summer break. Enjoy yourselves. Get some downtime, relaxing time, and just chill out for a bit and bring on next year with the rally and everything. But I do appreciate you two taking your time out, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having it.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thanks, guys.
And we'll keep in touch. There we go, Blair bartels and young Jack joining us as well, and talking about how the weekend was, Jack's experience, and just all the work, and a credit to all of those behind the scenes, because these events aren't possible without the volunteer base. As he made mention, some of these volunteers, you need to recognize everyone there. But just a great event. Look, 2012, 2022, keep an eye for 2024. For it to come back as well. So just a massive achievement to everyone that's brought a big show. Look, earlier in the piece, we caught up with the boys, Aaron and Vince from Garage 16 and New Zealand Dirt Track Magazine. Our big announcement on the 15th, we're down at the Palmy Speedway, 5:30, 7:30, roaming around the pits, talking to everyone we can catch up with. And then, of course, at the Speedway Garage Bar and Grill, 2:00, we'll have our special show on that Sunday afternoon. So come along. There's Cooper Tyres up for grabs as well.
Yeah.
Heaps of fun we're going to have, and do not miss it out. That is next Saturday the 15th and Sunday the 16th. We'll be down there in Palmerston North. Looking forward to it.
Absolutely, mate. I am so pumped for this Palmy weekend we're going to do. I think it's going to be great. It'll be our last live show before the start of a season. But we hope to do some more of these in the off season. So listen, come join us next Saturday and Sunday. Come watch the Palmy practice. Come and talk to us. Like we say, we've got gift vouchers to give away.
Yep.
If you're a stock car driver and you're watching and you want some new tyres, go into a draw on our show on Sunday. How good's that, you know? And of course, there'll also be the Garage 16 and New Zealand Dirt Track Racing merchandise for sale too down there while we're there on the Sundaykins.
Yeah, hard out, beautiful stuff. And
get their coffee mug.
The merchant, yeah, got their coffee mug, and you've got a hat like that Garage 16 hat with the emblem on there, and yet they saw the NZ Dirt Track magazine. By the way, get the latest magazine. You'll get the calendar.
Yeah,
of
you get
Speedway
that. Isn't that an awesome idea? Speedway New Zealand come on board and put out a calendar. It's a big poster for everybody. That alone makes you want to go out and buy the bloody mag, let alone the article on Mitch Vickery as well. You know, like it's full of awesome stuff as that magazine, and Vince and Aaron do a great job on everything and the way they support us. And also like to just, while I'm thinking about it, thanks to FCS Limited as well for their continued support of Cockpit Media as well, Cockpit Racing. So yeah, and keep an eye out. We'll have an announcement soon about our next E-Series that we're going to do as well. So, yeah.
Exactly. All right. Yeah, you're right, Muddy. The balaclava, the goggles, everything are all cool. And yeah, I have seen the new 46B Quinn Ryan, Scotty. Wicked. That's all I'm going to say. It looks outstanding. But everyone out there, be safe out there. Enjoy yourselves. And we'll be back next Wednesday with a couple more guests, which we look forward to. Maybe, but we might be getting prepared for Palmy. We'll see how we go. But take care, everyone. Enjoy yourself. And enjoy the Bathurst.
Yes. Thanks, everyone.
Welcome along, everyone. What was it like, that experience, jumping into your first race?
It's been my life ever since I can remember.
Look, it really was unbelievable.
I think it's awesome.
Just go out there and give it your all every time. And
When you're young and you get in the old man super stock and you wreck it, I mean, it's pretty cool.
Craig Booker with the big smile. He is the voice that's behind what you get to hear every Sunday night.
Give it the hoot, Eddie. Look at that field. Doesn't it look fantastic?